What's up, Chuckle Nuts? It's NFL All Day Unpacked. I know you don't like intros, but fuck you, I'm leading this off, so we're doing an intro. Uh, Today we're gonna talk about what's going on. There's a redesign on the site. The playbook is back. So I guess the project's not dead after all. What do you think now that playbook's back?
I'm excited.
Yeah,
I was clicking around today and noticed that there was some navigation changes, and was kind of like, huh, this is kind of interesting. And
yeah,
uh, I felt like I saw it unfolding in real time, but it feels like everything's kind of been down in the dumps probably for like the last 8, 9 days, and things are not really going anywhere. And they did the couple challenges over Thanksgiving, so I'd like to give them credit first of all for that, because I
yeah.
did really enjoy the Thanksgiving challenges. So that, yeah, I said it was kind of dead the last 8 or 9 days. I take that back. I retract that. I think maybe 4 days before that, it was kind of really dead. And then leading into Thanksgiving, I feel like they finally picked up the ball and started running with it a little bit. So I enjoyed those challenges. Seemed like it was kind of dying off again. And then they come in with the new navigation, and then they announce the new playbook, and all seems well again. And it just, based on the Twitter reaction that I saw, it seems like people are kind of excited, and I think we should be excited, because I feel like not only are they listening to us now, I feel like they're kind of enacting it. They're listening and they're delivering on it, and I'm kind of excited.
Yeah.
What's your thought?
So first I want to ask you this: like, what did you think? I thought it was really interesting that for the first time ever, they did a challenge where this Calvin Johnson challenge where they took a snapshot and didn't announce it, right? So normally they'll tell you who the moments are going to be, and everybody buys them up and flips them, and then they dump them
Yep.
afterwards. But they just sneakily took a snapshot of everybody who had gridiron completed, and whoever had gridiron completed could go out and do the Calvin Johnson challenge.
I
Which
fucking love it.
Yeah, I thought you might. I
I
mean,
I just
yeah,
do the sneaky shit. Do like,
yeah,
like it's like being in a relationship where like your girlfriend surprises you. It's like it's fun to get surprised. Like take a
yeah.
snapshot of like what we got, and then it's like
No,
you
I,
know
I mean I like it because we didn't like. Otherwise, what would have happened is Gridiron would have pumped and Gridiron would have dumped, and it's
dumped.
just like, I mean, it's. I think it's like if you, especially if you already own Gridiron, then it's like, what's
Mm-hmm.
the point, right? Unless you're trying to sell all your moments, and it's
Mm-hmm.
interesting too because there was a lot of people, not a lot, but I saw a handful of people like complain, like, oh, I just sold my
Yeah.
Steve McNair, or I just sold this person
Oh,
for a challenge and I forgot to bring him back.
let me
And
wipe
why
my
didn't they
tears away.
announce it? Why didn't
Let
they
me wipe them
tell
away.
me? And
Oh,
yeah, I mean it's I mean I liked it too just because I think it rewarded collectors for once.
right.
I'll be interested to see. I mean, the one thing that we see is like these crafting challenges, the moments are always available cheaper afterwards than you could have, basically minted them for.
Right.
Now,
Right.
I will say that we're seeing a slight exception with the Travis Kelsey where there's only 15 of them, and
Right.
even the Joe Burrow rare where there's like 245, I want to say, of them.
And
He's
you're
holding the
talking
value
crafting.
pretty well. Yeah, they're
You're talking.
crafting ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those two are actually staying like kind of at value of what you had to burn to make them, which is great to see for once.
Right.
And
I
but
think because there's
everybody
so few
else,
Kelseys though, and how many Burrows are there? Like
yeah,
a couple hundred.
245 I think is what
Okay.
the number was.
Right.
So yeah. So it's that seems to be kind of the magic number. It's like when the price was really high, then people wouldn't, it's like no one would do that. The Thurman Thomas has held on pretty well. It's kind of teetered on the edge. Not a lot of those have sold though. I think only one has sold. Where I
Okay.
think a few of the Burrows have sold at like that 300 range. So it seems like people are kind of holding tight at that 300 number and just trying to dig in on it. So
Right.
great. I'm glad to see it because every other one, it's like this. We always go back to CD Lamb, but man, I mean, CD Lamb is just like the best example of
Good old
something that
Sheedy
cost
Lamb.
hundreds of dollars to mint and
God,
is
yeah.
at $80 now. So
Yeah. Old
yeah,
CD. Yeah. That was a bad experience for those who did that.
yeah, it really was.
Yeah.
Fortunately,
So it looks like one thing I'm kind of noticing, just kind of taking a side shuffle here, is that I don't think packs are dead, but I like how they've kind of done this new challenge.
yeah,
And it's kind of like for specific moments. I feel like I feel like that's something we've talked about, where you've got to put more emphasis on, just putting out a few moments and letting people kind of get them and putting more value on those moments. And I feel like maybe this isn't exactly what we said, but they've found a way to kind of say, hey, if you want these moments, this is how you get them. And instead of distributing these packs and everybody just selling them off, now they're like, hey, you want to do the challenge, you get these guys. And it's like, I feel like this is a new way of trying to do things, and I like it. I like it. They're experimenting. They're trying new things. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about it really quick. So there's 2 challenges this week, basically, or 2 playbooks. So there's the rookie level and the all-pro level. And what's really interesting is that first of all, that the playbook for the rookie level, you only have to get 50 yards. And so a lot of these challenges are only 5-yard challenges, but you only have to get 50 yards. And so once you hit 30 yards, you unlock this common moment that's going to be whoever, but probably very unlikely to be a rare or legendary. And then you get this. If you go the full 50 yards, you get yourself an AJ Green draw it up. So it'll be interesting to see how many people compete for this and how many people do it. There's a lot of different, the challenges are definitely different this time now. It's like picking players that you think are going to have certain stats, picking, teams who you think is going to win a certain game. Like some of the challenges are like pick a team from the AFC that you think is going to win and a team from the NFC that you think are going to win.
Right.
A lot of things like that. So some really interesting ways. And then what's also kind of what caught my eye was that it's like if you don't guess right, then to get the challenges, you basically have to make up the yards by burning moments. So it's interesting, like they're not letting you just burn, whoever. I couldn't think of a good, Riley Dixon. You got to burn someone who passed for 300 yards or rushed for 100 or caught for over 100 yards. So it's they're kind of up in the game. They're making you burn people who are actually decent players now instead of just burning like the commons that everybody's been buying for $3 and toasting. So it's a little bit interesting.
Yes, I don't know if the gift at the end of the tunnel is if burning moments to get this AJ Green moment is really worth it. Now, again, there's like on the I guess at the all pro side, there's the rookie one and there's the all pro or the whatever you want to call it. It's a Joe Mixon. I mean, Joe Mixon.
It's a Joe Mixon and a Khalil Mack. So here, I'll flip over that one really quick. So for the all pro one, at 45 yards, this is what I found interesting too, is you're getting a pack that has a rare or legendary in it, period. So you just did do 45 yards and you're guaranteed a rare or legendary. And I mean, 50 yards with these challenges is not, like, if you're a collector, if you've got a serious collection going on, you'll have no trouble hitting that. So that was very interesting that they're just handing out that rare so easily. Hit 75, you get a Khalil Mack, and then if you hit 100, you get Joe Mixon. So
they're probably loading it up with Donovan Peoples-Jones, and they're probably like, here you go.
They might be, and that's fine. But you're still, it's still a free $20 moment. Speaking of which, $20 moment, $20 rares. I mean, I know they dipped into the 19 range, but I mean, we saw a $20 floor sit there for a couple of days until this, until a lot of these burn challenges here got announced for the rares. But
did you pick any up?
I did pick a couple up here and there.
I mean,
it was hard not to at 21, 20.
It was,
22, 23. I mean, there were some, decent players sitting there, so I had to go out and grab one or two. I mean, obviously, you wish you would have grabbed more now, but yeah, I did grab a couple. How about yourself?
Yeah, I grabbed a few. I mean, there were some of these guys that got down in like the 20 range. I might have grabbed one at 19, if I remember right.
Oh, you did get a 19. I didn't. I saw a 19, didn't get the 19.
I don't know if I did or not. I don't remember, but I definitely got a few low. So I was excited about it. Also, I mean, just, before all this challenge stuff happened, I mean, again, some of the comments are just getting low. I mean, just really low. I mean, we saw Christian McCaffrey dipping into the $9, $8 ranges. We're talking.
I got a McCaffrey for, I want to say 8. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, Russell Wilson dipping into the $6 range. I mean, some of these guys.
I think a lot of people think Russell Wilson might be done, and I know it could be the coach there with Hackett being a, ex-Jaguar and all, but it's
Well,
it's not.
Let me just
good.
say this, taking a gamble on Russell Wilson, considering that, literally 2 months ago, that was a $90 moment, for some of these challenges.
Well, from a challenge, it wasn't just sitting at 90,
it was.
Yes, but sure.
Well, it was sitting at 60. The anticipation had it at 60.
40s, 50s, and 60s. Yeah, agreed.
And we all know how the NFL works. Russell Wilson could be, booted off the.
Yeah, they get the right guy in there next year, and he can be back to great again. So.
Right. So again,
is it ominous that the lowest rare right now is AJ Green, and that's the rare you're trying to craft in? But hey, at least it's a $25 moment, not $20. So that's a pretty good increase. That's a 25%. I mean, the floor was $20. It's gone up 25% after the announcement. So you saw a lot of people buy rares because they know they're going to burn them for these challenges.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, I like it. What about the legendary floor? I saw that kind of skipping up a little bit too, because I see that legendaries can be burnt as well.
Yeah, so it was low. It was Michael Thomas was there at 298.
Yeah.
And then now I want to say it's up to 320, 340, 320.
If anybody hears a weird noise in the background, that's my dog snoring, so my stomach's okay.
320 for Michael Thomas.
Okay.
And then 340 for Jaquan Brisker, 360 for Kamara, then 388, 399, 400. So.
Okay.
Trayvon Walker's back up to 450. He was down at 405 a couple days ago.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Where's that Jaguars team moment at?
It must have gone up because it was below Trayvon for a second there, and there it is, 459.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Interesting.
So yeah, they're kind of all hovering around that a moment. There's certainly there was a little bit of a bump. I mean, today I would say it wasn't a big one in the marketplace or whatever, but maybe a 3-4% bump in the market overall this morning. From after this announcement. So, again, it's these contests and things create these little temporary bumps and such. But the market's really not going to grow until new users are coming in. Because right now it's just the same 80,000 people who are buying, these moments and listing them and doing that kind of thing. So
have we checked Evaluate recently to see how many accounts? I have not gone on to say there is 80.
I think I did, but let's. All right, we have 82,435. So, still sitting in the same realm.
Wasn't it 83 last time?
Oh man, I wrote it down somewhere. I don't have it on me. I did write it down though because we were tracking it. It might be actually. Let me look in my notes really quick.
I feel like we were I don't know. Maybe there was 83, and then there was.
Nope, it was so we looked in September. It was 81,472. In October, it was 81,243, and now we are here in we'll say December, right? December 1st, and we're at 82,435. So it's up 1,000, but
the growth is exponential.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, until this number, when this number is well over 100, when it's over 150. Yeah. Then we'll see, that will be something interesting. But as of right now, this number is just not, there's just not growth. So it's going to just be stagnant until then. But again, we talked about this in a prior episode, so we won't keep beating this subject. But, when crypto comes back, if, things like Bitcoin, and once the market kind of settles down and such, which, again, may not be till next year even.
Right.
Then we'll start seeing, a lot more of the kind of spillover effect.
Right. We'll see the kids start funneling in.
That's right. Once they start advertising all the kids, they're going to harass their parents, and this thing's going to go to the moon.
Right. Yeah. Then it'll be at 200,000 users, and I will be
for sure.
correct.
For sure.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, I mean, I do want to say that I feel like, one thing I just want to say quickly is that the point of entry to this product, I feel like, is something that needs to be addressed. So if anybody's watching that has any input, there has to be an easier way to get on this project and be able to buy moments. So that is something that they definitely need to work on. So I had to put that down. So
yeah, no, it's a fair point. Speaking of accounts, let's talk about someone that you and I have picked up on over the last few weeks here that we've been seeing out here. Who
an interesting guy out there
seems to be sitting on the. I'm gonna guess we got our buddy Lumberjack here, and I don't know Lumberjack.
I don't either.
Not Lumberjack, and you're not
yeah.
Lumberjack. But I'm gonna say that I think Lumberjack invested himself into a Jolly Joker and is sitting on the sniper, and seems to like buying moments when they're $1 below whatever they are,
right,
and selling them for $1 more. Like,
right.
like Christian Kirk's here is a great example. We've noticed he buys them for $2, sells them for $3, right. And
sometimes he buys them for $2 and sells them for $2.
No, he doesn't sell them for $2.
He did that one time.
I don't think he did, but either way, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So anyway, point being that he's so what's interesting too to me, because like, let's talk about it. You're selling, and I get it, it's a volume game. So what he's trying to do, or she, or whoever Lumberjack is trying to do, is buy for $2, sell for $3. That's $1 profit.
Yep.
Minus the
not
commission.
$1, but yeah.
Yeah, minus the commission, which is 5%. So that would be 15 cents. So 85-cent profit on this sale.
Right.
Or whatever sale, because it's always $1.
Yeah.
But on this one, like a $3 moment, it'll be an 85-cent profit. But here's the thing I really wonder. Do you think Lumberjack has really thought about the tax implications of selling hundreds of moments?
Right.
At that, like is that not going to be the world's biggest pain in the butt to have to sit there and line by line these NFTs that they're selling? Do you think they're thinking about the tax implications?
Right.
Of
and
their
the fact
profit,
that,
or they just,
how about the fact that it's a short term versus a long term?
Well, right. I mean,
yeah.
So on top of that, so 85 cents, and now they're going to have to pay with 38% capital gains tax on that. So let's just round up to 40%. And it's 40% of the profit, which would be the 85 cents. So you're looking at roughly, close to 40 cents there. So now you've got a profit of 45 cents per transaction. So, and that being said, I would say it takes what? Let's just say that let's say that if you at your very best could buy and sell a moment in 1 minute. Yeah. Right? I think that's a pretty fair. So this person is then charging 45 cents for a minute of their time, times 60, and so that'd be $4.50 for every 10 minutes. So times 6 would be 24 plus you're there, so $27 an hour.
Right.
So their rate is $27 an hour. So Lumberjack, we got a proposition for you. For $24 an hour, we're willing to talk to you about coming to work for us. So if you're out there, you find us on YouTube, you let me know, and we'll it won't even be as tedious as listing Christian Kirks again and again. So you find us, you hit us up, we're gonna put you to work for $24 an hour. Okay, you let us know. Appreciate it. All right. Anyway, moving on. Enough with our want ads.
Yep.
What else you got today?
Let's see what else we got on the list. Did we talk about the new navigation? I don't think we've really hit on that yet.
Yeah, I was kind of going through it as you were saying it, but yeah, let's go through it.
Well, I wanted to go over like the whole team aspect. How they got the helmets there. I like that.
Yeah, with the logos here. Yeah,
right. I don't know if I'm really feeling the moment in the team NFT part. That seems like kind of a maybe not like the best use of space, but I really do like the fact that if you want to search a team, just booyah, you just click the helmet, you're there, or the logo. Like that a lot.
Yeah, that's a good idea for people coming in too. So if you're a new user, right, you're a fan of a team, you're coming in, right? I'm a Dolphins fan, right? So I'm clicking the Dolphins.
Sure.
No, I'm just saying hypothetically here.
Correct.
I'm not a Dolphins fan. But here's one thing I was thinking about too as I was going through this today. Is it like it's like it's great to see this, but should it be updated to include present Dolphins? Like, do I want to see Tyreek Hill on this page? I feel like I do. If I'm a Dolphins fan, it's like I want Tyreek Hill moments, and I don't see Tyreek on here, but he has moments. So I don't know.
Like, I was kind of wondering, should they like come up with a badge, current team badge, and then you can search by that? Because
maybe that's a separate filter, right? Like current team versus.
Let me ask
team.
You this: the reason I say current team badge is because let's say there's a game being played tonight, and like Russell Gage is a guy. He used to be a Falcon, now he's on the Buccaneers. I have no idea. I have no idea until I you have to look around, figure all this crap out. It's just like a current team badge would be a way, like I think a simplistic way for them just to kind of be able to filter, kind of make it happen on the simple versus creating some crazy time.
I don't understand what you're saying that there should, but that wouldn't help you, because if there was a team, if you had a badge here that said like Alec Ingold, for instance, is this the Dolphins are his current team? So you see a current team badge,
and it'd have a Dolphin helmet. It would have a Dolphin helmet, and then you could filter.
Oh, you're saying all right, that wouldn't be a badge then. So you're saying just show like I was going to say this. I was going to say maybe what they should do is in the metadata down here, like it says team name, it could be like current team. Problem is though, it's like, well, you can't assign it now. See, that's the problem, is you can't. The team can change. So like Alec Ingold could be on the Dolphins today and could be on the Jets tomorrow. And once you commit the NFT to the blockchain, you really aren't supposed to mess with the data. So that's probably why.
Well, here's the thing. Let's talk about this. And the reason I said badge is because think about Breece Hall. They updated the badges. Okay. And I'm saying if you have a badge that flips between all the teams, it's just like a badge that it's got to be a helmet and it's got to have a team on it. And it's just like whatever.
But the badges can update like these badges, but the underlying metadata can't change. So
right. And I'm not saying to change the metadata. I'm saying to change the badge.
Well, it has to
create
change the metadata,
a team badge.
How would I know what team this player is currently on? Where
Scroll
do I get
up.
that information?
So you would scroll up and see where that green badge is, the debut badge. There would be another one next to it.
I totally understand what you're saying. There should be a Dolphins helmet right there. Got ya.
Yep.
Okay. What I'm saying is these badges are based on the metadata, on the data of this NFT, which say, like, when you look at the NFT data, it says, like, this is Alec Ingold's first moment. This is his
Breece Hall.
year.
How did they update Breece Hall?
What do you mean, how'd they update him? What'd they update?
Look at Breece Hall. Bring him up. That's good. His current team is at home, but
Okay.
You see the new badge?
Yes.
Okay. So how did that was not out when he came out?
It was.
So how did they?
It's in the underlying metadata of the NFT. So when the NFT was distributed, this data of how it was distributed via reward pack was already as part of the NFT. It just was not. It was just not graphically represented on the site. So if you tore apart this NFT and looked at the metadata,
you think that was in there originally?
It would show you that it was delivered via those mechanisms.
Got it.
They made it a reward.
So what I'm saying, if you're claiming that was in there beforehand, then you're absolutely right. Okay.
Yeah. No, how they delivered it is in there because they can go back and look at that.
Got it.
So that's all on. Okay. That's how they mint it and do that kind of stuff. That's what I'm saying. It's like, but because that never changes, right? They knew like Breece Hall was given away. They could go back if they, maybe they did change it. I mean, I don't know the Flow network to know it well enough, but they could go back and say, hey, this, these moments were given away in packs or whatever, this certain way. But the problem with current team is it changes all the time. So like you could permanently do this once, write it, and then it's written and then never write it again because it's a new field. Let's just say hypothetically, but NFTs committed to the blockchain, the whole idea is you are not supposed to be updating the data behind them. Like,
okay, but my question is do we know if that that is actually written to the NFT? Are those badges actually part of the NFT? I mean, could they be like,
The
part
badges
of
are,
like
I would guess, are probably not part of the NFT. Like
well, that's kind of what
there's
I'm saying.
underlying data, and then what happens is when the website here pulls up this NFT, it says, if this has tag X, show this badge. If it has tag Y, show this badge. If it has tag Z, show this badge.
Correct.
So
what I'm saying is, couldn't they code around, like, couldn't they pull from a database and say, like, if
they would have to create a completely separate database.
I know.
That would maintain current team of each player. That's what they'd have to do. Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, I feel like it could be done
via technical here, but yeah.
Well, no, but I mean, hey, it's like, I feel like via the badge, that'd be a way. The other thing that they could do is, like, if a player's on IR or something like that and not playing, I mean, that would be kind of cool if, like, you had like a Red Cross or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That way you'd know who's in it. Like Brees Hall would, you'd have a Red Cross on him.
Yeah, and I think what we'll see is third-party sites do exactly what you're talking about. So I think NFLAllDay is probably, because again, it's like, think about like that Red Cross thing is super important for fantasy players, right? So
Sure.
They really want to know, like, what's the status. So I could definitely see once, like, like if maybe on the moment Rumble gets, continues to grow, they would then create exactly what you're talking about, which is like a current team badge, and also like their own metadata that would sit on top of the metadata of the NFT. So
right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I see like, I don't know if AllDay has the incentive to do that.
I was just going to say that, like, we want them to focus on new customers. We don't want them to focus on this. We can live with the current, like, they need to get new customers in the door. That should be one of their main things. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And speaking of badges and things like that, let's talk trophies. What the fuck is the point of these trophies?
That's a great question.
Does anybody know? Because I got a lot of them. I'm like a kid in like a really one of those soccer leagues where they give out a trophy every week. I've got tons of trophies, but I don't know I don't know what they mean. But
I wonder if they're not gonna be. I mean, here's my guess. At some point, maybe what they'll do is they'll say, "There's going to be a challenge. You have to have a minimum of 10 trophies to participate in this challenge."
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Again, or you have to have 10 gold trophies, or 3 graphite trophies, or 5 silver, or who knows.
Right.
But AllDay seems to, like. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I think they know what the hell they're doing, and then sometimes I don't. But it does seem like they at least, like, it feels like they've got a plan for some of these things. Or, and then again, maybe at the end of the day, these trophies might just be like, kind of like, maybe they have a plan for at some point that you're going to have like a collector's room, right? And in your collector's room, every person, like, I'll be able to visit your collector's room, and I can see, like, I can look through all your NFTs. I can see who you have. I can look at all your trophies. I can look at all that. So that might just be part of the whole thing that happens and stuff.
Or maybe they just don't even have a plan for the trophies right now, and they just figured down the road if we need them for something. Well, there's a
free one. There's a free plan.
What's that?
Create a trophy room for every and for every holder. Let them display their NFTs in there. Let people browse them, and then have a trophy case in there as well, where you can see all their trophies. There you
go. I like it.
Cool.
All right. Let's see. Now, we've talked about Lumberjack. Is there any more on the navigation that we need to discuss, or was there anything else that changed?
Yeah, so we can look at the play. Like, this one was like the big one, I thought, the play. So, you can go in here, you can look at playbooks, leaderboard, active challenges, upcoming, previous, completed challenges. They're all there. Otherwise, you can just go, like, it's interesting. They did a couple of different ways to explore that.
Right.
Have you looked at this on mobile? I'd be curious to see. I'm assuming it probably just takes up the whole screen and pushes it down.
Yeah,
but
I have not looked at it. I'm currently checking it out right now. Let's see what we got here.
I won't throw us into dev mode here and screw up our screen share, but
let's see. So I guess that's just like a regular search then. So go to the marketplace. No, it's not. I mean, again, not to be like
so
old
it's
school, but
Yeah, it's not going to work well.
Oh, it's gonna work great, dude. No, it's
Here's what happens: you go to play, and then on the mobile, you see these, you just don't see all the other stuff.
right. It's in the
Like all of these like windows don't show. It's just this stuff. So it's like
Right.
you see the navigation that is up here in the left column, but you just don't see any. Like you can't see, you can't just click on any old team and that kind of stuff. So that's what they've done. It looks like.
right. I got a question to ask, and this is kind of a random question, but I'm full of random questions in my life. What happens if flow goes to zero? The coin flow.
Mm-hmm.
It's I wouldn't say it's dangerously low, but it's near $1. It's the $1.12. If flow goes to zero, what happens?
Well, it. Obviously, it's not going to ever go to zero. It's probably going to go to
like Shiba levels,
0.000001 or whatever, like some of these do. But
yeah,
ultimately, what it boils down to is it's just the network staying online. As long as, the idea behind a decentralized network is that other machines will maintain it. But
sure.
I don't know enough about Flow to know its structure. So, it is okay. So it is decentralized. It's kind of there.
Right.
If people stop developing on it, I think that's what would happen. Is like if it got down that low, you would see maybe developers move away from it. My thought is that Dapper probably has another blockchain that they would move to. So they would probably just convert everything over to another blockchain.
Got it. Okay. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Sure.
And that's Blockto. I tried to move one of my moments to the wallet that they're talking about. It's called Blockto, Blocto, Blockto. And man, that moment is gone in space somewhere.
Is it?
Yeah, we got a Tracy Walker floating in space somewhere. Can you help me? I'm floating in space. It's just gone.
Just gone, huh?
Yeah, I followed the directions. Send it to the address. It seemed like it went, and it was just like you got to wait 24 hours to show up, and it's kind of like I got punked. It's like it just never showed. They're like, thanks for the moment. So yeah, so
you burned one with no credit.
Exactly. So there's one just floating in space somewhere, and I don't know if I'll ever get it back or what's going on there. But I was kind of pumped at the thought that you could move moments, off the Flow network and into to your own wallet. And they have this one, and it sounds like it works with Top Shot, but
yeah,
it doesn't seem like AllDay is quite there yet, and I don't know what's going on.
So that's a good question. Is anybody out there? I'd love to know. Has anybody out there successfully moved a moment to Blockto? Because if so, let us know. Apparently Ryan couldn't get it figured out. So no, I got to admit, I'm gonna have to go out there. I have not tried this, so
yeah,
I might have to give it a shot with maybe I'll take a $3 moment and send it on the old maiden voyage across the sea of the Flow network.
Yeah, maybe O'Reilly Dixon.
Yeah, might have to move O'Reilly Dixon. Might have to move a Logan Cook.
Yeah, it sounds like a perfect place for a punter to go.
Yeah, he's gonna outkick his coverage. Yeah, we'll have to give that a shot. So we'll have to see if we can figure that out. But yeah, I'm curious to see too.
Right. So let me just explain what I know quickly. I won't make this long and drawn out. So on Blockto, you download, it's an app only. So you download it on your phone, and you go into, there's like news, discoveries, wallet settings. So you're in the wallet, and you go in to hit the plus sign, and then it's like enable collectibles. So it's like you almost have to enable NFLAllDay. And if you search, you can get Top Shot. But if you search NFLAllDay, nothing. So it's not there.
So maybe it is there. Maybe it just can't show it. Have you
Well,
looked at the transaction? Did you look like so on the Flow Network when you shot that bad boy out? A transaction was created on the Flow
right.
Network, and so
So
it
yeah,
probably
it's probably sitting in an address somewhere because I sent it to an address.
right. So
So
what you need to do is go to FlowScan and
yeah,
just put your address that you sent it to into FlowScan, and
right.
then find out. It's probably the address. It's probably
Oh,
just
I'm sure it's
blocked
there.
or can't show. Well, right. So you didn't lose it then. It's there.
Well, I mean, but the whole thing is that there has to be like, it's not that you can't show it, but there's supposed to be a way where you can actually, like, you can actually see like the like some type of visual, confirmation. I just have like nothingness. There should be like a NFL all day. You have player X. Maybe it's not a picture of him, but it's just like a confirmation that it made it there. I have nothing. So, if the extent of this is going on FlowScan and finding it that way, that's pretty sketchy.
Yeah.
I mean, and I know Top Shot has a way of doing it where you can actually see. And the funny thing is, I have a few Top Shot moments. I was actually thinking about sending one over to see what happens on that front.
Yeah, I would test a Top Shot moment.
Yeah, that's definitely one I can part with.
How is Top Shot doing these days?
I don't have a freaking clue. There was one guy in our comment section that seemed to know quite a bit about it. So I appreciate you dropping some knowledge about Top Shot to us, and kind of, because I can't say that we're huge Top Shot guys. So
yeah, I mean, I did get a few, and I don't know. I don't follow basketball enough to really, it just didn't do it for me. So.
Right. Yeah. Just not enough players. NFL, it's like there's, offense and defense and, just so many different players, special teams. NBA, it's kind of like there's 5 guys. You can only do so many moments, and then you're stuck on repeat. And so, yeah, anyway, I don't want to get into that whole business because I know there's people that really like basketball. And it's not that I have anything against basketball. It just seems like, you're in a gym again. There's no like the classic example is Jordan Willis in the snow blocking a kick. It's like it's snowing out, or one of these moments where Justin Fields is like diving in the rain. I don't know if they ended up making that a moment, but like that is cool. Okay.
Yeah, but that was a very memorable thing. Yeah. So
exactly.
Here's what's interesting though is like the market cap for all of Top Shot is about 350 million.
Okay.
Now, you compare that to All Day, it's a big difference. That's like, it's not 10 times, but that's like what, 8 times that? That's so it's definitely a bigger, it's got an 8x market cap over All Day. Now, granted, it's been around a couple more seasons too, but
right. And they were also
it's
out.
Doing all right. It can't be doing too bad.
Right, but they also were out in the prime time of like the crypto market.
Yeah,
so
but the market has crashed since then. So they should have. I'm sure they've suffered the same. I mean, there's $1 moments over there on Top Shot. So.
Oh yeah, there is.
Yeah.
God,
so,
what is that website? I sent it over to you. There was one that kind of talks about it, like it ranks the. It ranks like you can see live like what moments are being bought. I forgot it. Son of a bee. Well, I'm digging for it. Yeah, go ahead and keep it going here.
No, I was just gonna say. I mean, it just it looks like Top Shot is still it's. I mean, I know that there's people who are not like happy with it overall, and it's definitely declined, but it's got still has a decent market cap, so can't complain too much.
Right. I mean, I'd be curious to know how many more moments there are. Yeah. I mean, Didn't they get up to like 60,000 or something like that for mint
There were
counts?
some big mints, yeah, because obviously it was during the heyday. Everybody thought NFTs were going to the moon forever and never coming down.
Never coming down.
I was going to say really quick was to go back to the Playbook moments. So we talked about how this week it's AJ Green, it's Khalil Mack, and Joe Mixon. And you can see who's on deck for next week, which would be Forrest, the D-back from the Commanders. And then you've got Cordell Patterson from the Falcons, and then Justin Herbert, it looks like, coming across for the next. So for week 14. So interesting. It's some interesting moments that they're they're going with or whatever. I think Forrest, I don't believe he has a moment, so that will be his debut moment.
Right.
And that'll be, it looks like they're lining it up with the AJ Green, so it looks like it'll be a common moment, but it'll be interesting that they're using that to make his debut moment. I think that'll be a first, is a crafting challenge for somebody, not crafting, but, you know, like kind of a, I mean, it's part of the crafting, whatever set, so it will be the first one of those that is a debut moment of the set. So interesting that they're doing that.
Yeah, and I'm interested to know why they're, I mean, not to be like ticky-tacky, but this Forrest guy had an amazing moment week 1.
Yeah, he did.
Against the Jaguars when he blew up one of the Jags. I cannot believe they didn't use that. That was an amazing play.
It was, but again, you know, there's been amazing play. I mean, we've seen a bunch of amazing plays this year that don't have moments yet, so it's just the way it goes. I mean, you know, it's
right.
Like you look at like Fields has had some huge runs, some like really nice touchdown runs over the last few weeks, and you know, none of those are probably going to see the light of a moment for the season, just because again, he's already got the 2, and so yeah.
All right, so I found this site that I was talking about. I don't know if you can bring it up. It's cryptoslam.io.
Cryptoslam.io. All right, cryptoslam.io. Oh yeah. You did send me this. Where this is like everything. No, this is all the NFTs.
Right, but what it does is it ranks. Like you can see where like it has like some type of ranking, and I don't remember what it's based on, but NFLAllDay was ranking better than Top Shot. Now, obviously, it's not market cap because we saw that. I don't know if it's like
it could be
sales
be based
and
on
volume.
Sales.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's on volume. So
like scroll down and you'll.
Well, I was thinking, is there a way that I can tell? Yeah, here we go. I'm going to just put it to just the Flow blockchain. There we go. So yeah, you can see right here. There is more in sales than NBA Top Shot.
And I mean, the amount of transactions, I don't know how much time that is.
That's the last 24 days or 24 hours. Sorry. Jeez.
Okay.
Last 30 days. Let's look at the last 30 days.
Okay.
NFLAllDay. Now, if we go to all time, I have a feeling it's going to switch. Yeah. So you can see right there, big difference.
Big difference. But I guess what I'm saying is that, you know, you think about how many more moments there are in the NBA versus the NFL, and you can see where, you know, the fact that there's more selling in the NFL.
Know that? Do we know how many moments there are? I mean, does this?
Oh my God, there's got to be like.
I'm sure there is. Here.
Well, I mean, just mid counts.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to find out. Is like, what's the? Oh, it's on. I know where that's here. Don't they show? There used to be a number somewhere on here that showed the total number of moments.
Isn't it like you gotta have a Jolly Joker to figure that out now?
Do you?
I think it's like like circulation, wasn't it?
No, it was. Gosh, it was under. I don't remember. I thought it was like just on the main page. It was just like.
Yeah.
Maybe it's on Evaluate, actually. Maybe it's on items. Hold on. Yeah, NFTs. 3.9 million. There we go. So here it is. So there's 3.9 moments available on all day. Like if you take every moment that you could possibly have, there's just under 4 million. So that's all.
Really?
Day.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
God, that's a lot of cash.
Oop, Top Shop. I'm going down the high street apparently. Oh boy, what did I do wrong? All right, let's just do this. Top Shop.
Do you ever notice that Evaluate's kind of weird? It's kind of hard to use.
I mean,
it's an odd bird. I like it, but it's an odd bird.
You know what I've noticed is that every one of these has like something that the other ones don't have. So it's like
correct. But just like finding things and searching them on here is just so like weird.
Here's his Top Shot. It won't let me.
Right. Don't touch me.
Yeah.
It'd be easier just to search NBA Top Shot evaluate.
I did do that. It just didn't show up.
Hang on, let me do it on my side. If you're still with us.
Because it's TS now. It's not. Is that why? Yeah, here it is. TS. So, look. NFTs, 37 million. So, the market cap is 8x. The number of NFTs is 9x-ish. So there's a big part of it right there.
Right, but the fact that, I mean, you see that All Day is outselling on a, like on a 30-day basis.
You don't want to know can we talk about what's mind-blowing is that basketball, I mean, there's fewer players, but there are this many more moments. And I know some of the accounts were 60,000, and so
right,
and 30,000 and 40,000. Right. So I think that's probably those added up, obviously. But floor price $1. But
yeah. I mean, I'm sure we could get into this and get into the weeds, but oh gosh, I mean, you want to talk about people like being on the right team, the amount of trades that go down. Yeah.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
Right. How much is that worth?
Oh, look at this. I mean, okay, wait, that's not fair. This is $2 up here. This is $1. So it's just, this looks way more drastic than it really is. Yeah, it's a little bit better here.
Yeah. 60,000.
Yeah. No,
that's a lot.
Yeah, 40,000 is too many.
Yeah. Just it's hurting my head to see 60,000. I mean, I can't. I mean, if you did 60,000 Mahomes, I mean, we only got 80,000 users. Can you? Well,
everybody gets one.
Exactly.
So wait, let's do this. How many Top Shot accounts were there then?
That's what I was gonna say, but I didn't know if it was gonna be,
No, it'll show accounts. 0. No, it's loading up here. Here we go. Oh, 695,000. So all right, there's obviously a lot bigger. That is mind blowing. I mean, I'm wondering, of the 695,000, how many of those accounts are truly active? Because my survey would say not many, just because if they're doing if you have that many more moments and accounts and you're being outsold by a product that's got 1/10 of your market. Granted, well, no, it's basketball season now. Basketball season is going on, so it should be, it should be outselling right now. Yeah, it should be. Should be. Not.
No. Is there any other sport? Didn't
UFC strikes right here, and then La Liga is still in beta, so it's not official.
Oh, it is. Okay. Yeah. Got it. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, what I do like about the All Day, if you click on it, you can see moment to moment, who's being sold and who's not.
Yeah, right here, live sales, live mints.
Right. Thomas Jones.
8 months ago.
Right.
That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that.
I think moments have been minted since 8 months ago. Oh, but this might be. Well, no.
Yeah, I didn't really understand what was going on with that one.
That's odd.
Yeah.
Maybe it doesn't have the mints.
Yeah, and I don't know how updated those are. But anyway, let's not fret on that. So let's get back to just moments in general.
Sure.
Again, we've said this a million times. I'm going to say it one more. Everything's down. Great chance to complete sets.
Yep.
Load up. There's nothing more to it. I like the direction they're going. I feel like anything they can do to get users in, whether it be, again, like a referral program where, I go out there, I get 5 people to create accounts and they buy 6 moments a piece. It's, we've referred friends to this program already. they should be doing something to incentivize people like us to go out there and actually bring in people, because again, that's the only way I can see us. It's like I don't think they're going to advertise their way into this. They need us to go out and reach out to people, and they got to reward us.
I hear you on that. I still think though that just like the public sentiment right now, like you hear it, like people are being snarky about crypto and NFTs, and like everybody's kicking it right now because it's down. It's an easy target. So I don't think you're gonna see, like, people are just gonna be hesitant until it starts going up again, and then everybody's gonna, it's very cyclical, right? And we've seen this with like Bitcoin and such, and unfortunately, we're hitting that lull point right now where it's probably gonna be another 6 to 18 months of just like kind of boring times in the crypto space. But that bull run, when it comes in late, I mean, again, this is not financial advice. I have no idea when it's going to happen. Obviously I'd be rich and not doing podcasts if I could predict markets. But somewhere in the I don't know, mid to late 23 into early 24 time, it's going to start picking up again. And that then is when you're going to see this pick up. So, it could coincide with next season, honestly. Like next season may be the one where people start kind of coming out of the woodwork and getting into this. And, then all of a sudden they're going to go back and be like, hey, where's that Trevor Lawrence rookie? Where's that Micah Parsons rookie? Where's that, and that's when moments like that are, hey, I want the debut of Travis, that 15 Travis Kelce, then it's going to be up to 10,000 or whatever, right? Like, I mean,
right.
Like we were talking about this the other day, and I think this is an interesting question, which is, let's say this does blow up. Like let's have a little fun, right? Everything's like down right now, and everything sucks, and we talk about negative all the time. So let's flip the script for the last few minutes here, and let's say, in your wildest dreams, like if you think about if this product blew up and people started really collecting this and being involved in it, and then all of a sudden, like we're looking at like season 5 or 6 or whatever, where there has to be min counts of 60,000 just to accommodate all the new people. What do you think series 1 is worth? What do you think what do you think Marvin Jones Jr. here, his debut, a $3 moment right now, a 10,000 common of a guy who's a decent baller, like, a good receiver, not Hall of Fame or, not even an all pro or anything, but a good receiver, right? Where do you think he could be? Like, where could a moment like this sit in, if we get into like a place where there's like 50 and 60,000 counts to accommodate all the people who are trying to buy these things?
I want to say maybe right where he's at right now.
It's $3.
I wonder if, so hear me out. I don't know. First of all, how many are burnt? And how many people are collecting?
Almost 2,000 are burnt.
Right. It's just like, I don't know, like if they incentivize set collecting, then he could be worth a significant amount. It just depends on how many people want to get into collect, or if it's this whole, like, does everybody have to have utility? Because I see Gronk and I see Ben Roethlisberger, and they're like in the toilet. And I just ask myself, these guys were great. Cam Newton had some great seasons. These guys are being absolutely just discarded. So to me at this point, anybody who's not currently playing doesn't have any value. So I don't see Marvin Jones Jr.
So you're
playing
saying
in 5 years.
Even if all the people who collect football cards, who truly collect football cards right now, move into this space, and the collectors start showing up. Like I'm saying, like,
okay,
you're right. Like right now it's run by fantasy and utility and that. But I'm saying, like, let's pretend that like, again, we're 5 seasons into this and the collectors are starting to show up now. Like people realize, like, this is how I'm going to collect football cards / moments for the rest of my life.
Then I think what it's going to come
down. You're saying
that
$3 is the absolute maximum this thing ever gets to. You're never seeing it go higher than any.
No, I think what's going to happen is, I think this is what I think is going to happen. I think it's going to go down to $1. So eventually Marvin Jones Jr. is going to be at like $1. And then what will happen is, it's just like if enough collectors come in, when he gets down to $1, people are going to start like eating these things up. And then it's just a matter of, do people want to come back in and collect? Because if they do, then a bunch of them are going to get burned, and Marvin Jones Jr. could be like the guy that gets from 10,000 down to like 4,000 after everybody burns everything and people discard them and send them to blocked wallets and they get lost in outer space.
Yeah.
It's just like there could be a big mess at the end of the day, and I feel like these are going to be worth more the lower they go. So if they get to be $1 a piece, then people are just going to be like, fuck it. And they're going to buy them and they're just going to discard them and they're not going to care about them. They're going to close accounts and they're not even going to worry about these moments anymore. And they're going to get lost. And then it's just like, it's like the supply is going to shrink. And then there's going to be like, who's left holding them and actually like remembers where they're at.
Right.
That could be a scenario. Again, right now, there's just
okay.
not.
So in that scenario, what are they worth then? When that happens, what do they wind up being worth?
Gosh, I don't know. I really don't know. I feel like there's gonna be like, and I'm shitting on your parade here a little bit, aren't I?
You're not shitting on it. If you don't have an answer, you don't have an answer. I'm
really
I'm just
feel
curious
like,
what people think that these might get to at some point. Like what?
Like I think in a perfect world, Christian McCaffrey debut is worth like $60-$70. The common. I think like maybe Marvin Jones Jr. is like $18. I think there's going to be some of these guys that are going to get burnt up, and there's only going to be so many left, and then it's like you're not going to be able to collect the set.
Like in old baseball and football card collecting, they would print sheets of cards, right, and they would cut them, and then they would have short runs. So they would do like the main runs of the things, and then they'd have this like short run of the last like 27 guys, and those would become, they were like in lower supply. Like no one ever knew the final number. I'm sure the company, well, they probably know, but they'd have those short run players that were always hard to find, and you would never get them. And so it's kind of the phenomena of what you're talking about, like because I think like you said, some of the guys, like again the Riley Dixons, people like this, people who get out of the NFL early, Kendrick Bourne, people who, aren't really relevant in the NFL at this moment, who are getting burned up. We're down to 7,000 Kendrick. We're less than 7,000 Kendrick Bournes, right? And it's not that Kendrick Bourne is going to be worth a bunch of money. What's going to happen is people are going to come back in 5-6 years later, and they're going to want to collect. They're going to want to have the complete Series 1.
Yeah.
And as they're trying to complete it, Kendrick Bourne's going to become a bottleneck for them because there's only 7,000, or think about some of these moments from Series 1 where they're, or Series 2 where there's only like 4,500 of them and there's probably already 500 burnt, and so you're going to have these really limited run ones, and they could just be bottlenecks for people trying to collect entire sets. And,
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, so Marvin Jones, I think a $20 Marvin Jones in 5 or 6 years is a completely, like, I think a $20 floor on Series 1 Commons is a very, like, plausible scenario if, again, we're best case scenario where, again, I'm trying to be positive here. I feel like sometimes we tend to be, negative and talk about the $1 moments that are inevitable and the doom and the gloom. But I think, at the same time, it's like, as a community, like you and I probably think about it, but it's like other people are sitting there thinking, Jesus, am I like really going to spend another $300 on these moments? And why am I doing this? And I think the reason you're doing it is because, this is what you're doing it for. So
here would be my take is my question would be less about Marvin Jones Jr. and more about these team moments. To me, there's if you made it this far in the episode, here's a golden nugget that I think, and I could be way off, but I feel like these team moments, like let's take the Denver Broncos, let's take the Philadelphia Eagles, let's take the Giants, let's take the Commanders, let's take the Colts, the Texans, the Falcons, and maybe a couple others. These debuts, like, first of all, the Broncos, the Eagles, the Giants, I think the Vikings are in that mix too. They're not making that many. There are 4,500 moments of the Denver Broncos debut moment, and they're going for $6 right now. To me, it's like, if collectors really come in and people want to have like the complete set, I would think if I'm a Broncos fan, having that debut team moment is kind of like, if you're truly a fan of the game, to me, and maybe I'm just weird, but I would think I would want that. Like, that's my team. These players are going to come and they're going to go, but these team moments are like, to me, these are like the pillars of collecting. If you're truly a fan of the team, like I'm a Jaguars fan. If I don't have the debut Jaguars moment, then I'm pissed. I got to have that. Like, for me, I got to have that because that's like the debut Jaguars moment. Got to have it. So again, I look at like these Broncos ones, and it's like,
well, I hope you're not a Bears or a 49ers fan.
Well, see, like that's the thing. It's like they made some of these legendaries, and see, like that's where I feel like people can make like the Jets one. I feel like is a debut, and it's dropping dramatically. And it, again, if it ends up being like a big thing, I mean, the Bears one, there's 29 of them. Yeah. That's like fucking nuts, like that. To me, that Bears moment
there's 29 of there's 29 of the Bucks, the Niners, the Bears, the Rams debut.
Yeah,
there's only 39 of the Jets, 39 of the Cardinals. Yeah, some of these legendaries, and like you said, like, I mean, look at this. There's 39 of the Cardinals team debut. It's $9.99.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if this ends up being like the next football cards, I mean, you got to figure, like, I look at it and I think like a major market team like the Chicago Bears, there's 29 of them. Some guy with deep pockets comes in and says, I want that moment. I want it. I'm a Bears fan. It's like, like these Logan Pauls, whatever, go back and get these Pokemon moments. It's like,
like the Charizard with the hollow.
And they only made 29 of them or something, like, again, it's like there's going to be some jackass, like, maybe it's one of us, or maybe somebody's watching, but somebody who went and bought, like, it could be Kookaburra, like, that went in and bought all these and sitting there and holding them, and there's only 29 of them.
Well, and here's the nice thing. So here's I want to build on your point and say that, like, you're right. Players come and go, and team moments are forever. Your team is only going to have one debut moment, and it's always going to be your team, right? So, correct. So I think that there's some validity there, and I've seen in the Discord there are people who are very like pro team moment. There are definitely those people in the chat on the Discord. I've seen them. So there are people out there doing that. But I mean, you're right. And the beauty of that strategy, if you believe in that, is you can do it at any, like, if you're like, oh, well, I can't buy a Tampa Bay Buccaneers, legendary moment for $7K. I don't have $7K. I've got $200. Okay. Go buy, a shit ton of Falcons, Texans, Panthers, and, football team moments.
Yeah. The Panthers are the other one.
Colt moments, like, get these moments. Yeah. So, because again, to your point, they're not like, this is it, right? I'll bet you people are probably burning these things. Like, like, it doesn't show here, but I'll bet you some of these have been burned. So,
right.
And this is it. Like, these teams are, there's, again, unless your franchise moves or folds in the meantime. Yeah.
But even at that, they might be worth something more because they,
Right. It's a historic now.
Right.
So
so
again, it's interesting. That's it's.
To me, it's like,
God, look at these rares.
If
58,
those
61.
If those aren't worth anything, then I don't think the project's worth anything. I can't see a scenario where this project goes to the moon and those moments aren't worth anything. Because if that's the case, then that means that it's not collectors, it's just fantasy people. And every time that these players go away, like when Patrick Mahomes stops playing, then that Patrick Mahomes rare is just not going to be worth anything. Just like the Ben Roethlisberger went down so far. So it's got to be one way or the other. So the way I see it is it's a collector's game. It doesn't have
to be one way or the other. It can be both. Like, I think it's going to be both.
Well, it could.
There are going to be collectors and there are going to be fantasy people, and I think they can easily coexist in the sense of what you'll see is like the collectors will live. Like they'll really like like you're saying, like these legendaries will pop up in packs. They'll be hot when the player's active. And then as they retire, they'll start dropping, and collectors will go, okay, I'll take that. I'll take this. I'll take that. And pulling them into their collection. So it'll be interesting to see how it all works out. I'm obviously we don't know, but I would love to be able to hit refresh on this and just get a peek at this list in 5 years' time. What are the values on this? If you could see the values on this little ask in 5 years' time. Yeah, exactly. Like 404 page not found.
Exactly.
So it might be, man. It very well could be, but it would be very, again, interesting. Hey, quick trivia for you. What is the only team that does not have a team
Cleveland
moment
Browns.
yet? That's right. Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
You know,
Denver Broncos got theirs. And again,
yeah, Broncos
people,
got theirs in season 2. Cleveland
party
Browns
people.
remain.
I believe it's the Denver Broncos that have the lowest count for a team debut.
Well, common team debut.
Right. Well, I mean, there is no such thing as a rare debut. You either have a debut or you don't. It's just a debut.
There's a rare debut. Look at all these right here. Rare debuts.
No, I'm saying each team has a debut.
Yes.
So Denver won't have a rare debut and a common debut. It's just they have a debut team moment.
Right. It's not the lowest debut comp, though, because I'm saying there are all these rares and legendaries that are much lower.
Right. But what I'm saying is that the Denver Broncos have the lowest common.
Yeah, and I just agree. Okay, maybe I misheard you, but I agree with you 100%. So I
yes, I guess what I didn't say common. I meant common, but what I'm saying
is
okay.
I didn't say common one time. I said base set, and I got fried for it. So it's all good.
Yeah. Well, there you go. But
maybe that's why I'm sensitive. That's probably why I'm sensitive to that word now.
That common moment is only $6.
7.
Okay, now it's 7. But again, it's
up 16.67% over the last 24 hours. So yeah,
right.
It's sitting at 7 now, not 6.
To me, it's like to like there's only 4,500 of them. To think that common moment, it's like if this thing doesn't go anywhere, that common moment has to be worth something. It has to go up.
I mean, yeah, it's the only negative to that is it's a series 2, but you're right, it is still a debut moment. So
it's the debut Broncos, right? It's like think about it. Like these challenges, eventually they're going to be like, you got to have all the Bronco moments to like be in this challenge. They're going to do
those
that.
Those will come eventually, yeah.
Right. So you got to have.
but it won't be all the Bronco
be a debut.
Moments. You have to have a Broncos team moment, and so for now it's the only one, so you're fine. But
that's a good point. I don't see that the Series 1 debut will not have any value to it. I think that, I could be wrong.
Yeah, and look, if you did, the Giants were part of a challenge recently, which is why this moment's currently up. But here's the Giants team is a Series 1. It's a 6,000 count. It's even still inflated from the challenge. It's at 10. The Vikings is at 16.
That's inflated.
The Washington football team is a 6,000 count, sitting at 5.
Yes.
And those are all Series 1. So if you want to be a Series 1 snob, you can definitely still do that. And get those. So.
Absolutely. So. Well, right on. I think we've talked this one to death.
We have.
Yeah. So let's end it right here, and we'll catch you on the next one.
All right. Peace out, everybody.